Hope you can hear me okay. We're finally live. It's about 10 o'clock now. About the whole building for fraud, my mail fraud, my internet fraud. Oh, they're going to learn today who pays my internet bill, right? Amy Seukeran, apartment 47. Who pays your internet bill? I pay my internet bill when I get my mail in this building, 7555 Goreway Drive. You're waiting? What are you waiting for? Huh? To call the police? What are you waiting for? We're going to show them. Every tenant in the building. Did you invite Officer Tyler? You're going to be watching this one forever. Why don't you go check who's under me now, where you get your internet? Check who you keep texting. Check the number now. All of the police, check the number you keep texting now. No, they can't see. No, they're not. I pay the internet bill. They're all going to jail for fraud. That's what's going to happen. Show them again. Where's the white van? Why do you keep texting me? Yes, you are. The whole parking lot. Did you read it? They're going to park whenever they want in the visitor parking, the white van. I sent you a picture. You take a good look where you live now. Every tenant. Everyone, every day, my lease, apartment 47. Now you're going to jail. It's all on YouTube for you. Let me hear you again. Let me hear you again. You live where? You have internet where? Tell them again who you keep talking to. Tell them whose phone you keep texting. Show them now. All of them under me. Show them again where they live. No, we went over how they connected their internet when they got it. They're playing men, so now you go and find out how they connected their internet. There's no joke. Look at me again. Every tenant in this building for fraud. I'm the same one with the mattress, right? When it got delivered. The same one with the bed when my bed got delivered when I moved in. Did you forget? When I had to drag the mattress up the stairs? That's me. 2 years later, what are you doing? Did you read what you texted me? Let me reread it for you. As they're sitting here screaming right now outside, right? Oh, I hope you're laughing. 647-250-5963. Officer Tyler has ensured I will never face prison time. I am immune in Peel region. That was at 10:03 p.m. Oh, they're in the parking lot between the two buildings, right? You know where I live, right? Yeah, let me hear you again. Malton Moms is posting about you. 10 o'clock p.m. 412-707-7279. Stop recording our surveillance vehicles. Every tenant in the building till you're in jail. It's none of your business how I got my internet connection. Stop showing my car on Instagram. Amy, I'm getting mad. Now stop. 386-682-9415. Do you think I'm cute? Don't reply if you think I'm super cute and want to go on a date with me. 313-757-5703. And then there's our old friend, Christina. Is that your name? 517-395-3754. I am a narcissistic abuse recovery life coach. I have sent these people my business card. They're well aware. Now it's all going on YouTube for everybody in the world to see. Do you understand now? I am a recovery coach for abuse victims. When you text my phone, you gave me permission to tell all the police. Now it's on YouTube for everybody to see. Did you just leak my number on stream? Yes, I did. Do you want to tell me why you're texting me while it's all on YouTube? Everyone for human trafficking, I told you, every time you mention my lease, right? Apartment 47, every tenant for human trafficking. Every day since I moved in, January 31st, 2024. Let me hear about you again, human trafficking. You what? Show me which unit you live in. Show me why you keep texting me. No, they're going to stay right here until the police get them. Should I read the comments now? Okay, I'm going to start reading the comments. Six 613-400-2431. Really? You pay the police, do you? They wanted reality. Let's go. You're mentioning Muslim Council. That's a joke now? I told you I want you charged. What did you text me about the Muslim Council? What did you threaten me with? You're in solidarity? You're going to come under my window and smoke? Read it again. Everybody in Malton, read it again. I'll give you a minute. Brown Trini trash. Every one of you. In Malton. Well, that's 386-682-9415. Racism, discrimination, hate crime, all of you. I told you, jail. Well, everyone, until we find the racist. It is the point. We also demand you stop threatening to call the police on the fine people of Malton. Most of the Peel police has been paid off by us, and they will act on our behalf however we see fit. Officer Tyler has joined us recently, and we are proud of his efforts to ensure our best interests are not impacted negatively by any other officer. Do you want to explain that to everybody? Genius? I would love the police officers to hear you and know who you are. Go for it. Explain that. That was 6:13 p.m. You texted that to me. This is 647-250-5963. You bring great shame to Trinidadian people like me and your uncle. I want you to stop having mouth regarding my Muslim friends in the council. We have a defense pact with our Islamic friends, and we will not fail to act upon it. I will be parking my white van in the visitor parking tonight and smoking reefer under your window as an act of solidarity. It would be wise to fall in line. Oh, there's more, but I want you to just look at me again. This is all legal, all for the police. You go and explain now what you just texted me. You explain how many threats and how many terrorist threats. Yes, yes, you are. Do you understand English? Why don't you listen again? You bring great shame to Trinidadian people like me and your uncle. I want you to stop having mouth regarding my Muslim friends in the council. We have a defense pact with our Islamic friends, and we will not fail to act upon it. That's a terrorist threat, buddy. I will be parking my white van in the visitor parking tonight and smoking reefer under your window as an act of solidarity. Why aren't they all in jail for texting this to a female? That's not threat and intimidation. That's not a terrorist threat. That's not a hate crime. That's not violence against women. You sit here and you list them now, all of Malton. 647-250-5963. We also demand you stop threatening to call the police on the fine people of Malton. Who are you to tell me not to call the police if you're attacking me? You're going to jail. Do you understand English? Most of the Peel police has been paid off by us, and they will act on our behalf however we see fit. Officer Tyler has joined us recently, and we are proud of his efforts to ensure our best interests are not impacted negatively by any other officer. You're going to explain that now to everybody in Malton and me. Go for it. Let me hear you explain it. That's the whole point of this live stream, right? until I find who it is. You involve Peel Regional Police and their officers, right? Not me. How many times did I tell you I have a business for victims of abuse? So you sit there in your group, all of you, read them together. Now I want you to count the threats between all of them. The racist threats, mentioning brown people and Trinis. Every single one in Malton. You count them good. I want to hear more about how the police work for victims. Can we go back to that one? Actual victims who need help. Can we go over that one? What the police do for them? Well, since you're all, maybe you'll tell me, right? Since you know better than anybody else who and how to contact them. The creature has been made aware of the situation. Expect a visit the next time you're vulnerable on the rock. 1013 from 647 250 5963. I'm waiting to hear more about your friend, the Muslim Council. All legal. Let me hear about it. Let me hear who's in the white van. It can't be the renovation guy, right? From this building? Considering the P trap, and that's me you commented and sent all that to? Or did you forget that too? Did you figure that out yet? Why you're commenting? What did it have to do with the building? What did that have to do with the sink? You really forgot all of that? You have a lot of men to go over. Why you texted and commented me? Which one of you ever installed a vanity? So why did you comment? This is what we're doing here. Every single one of them. When did you ever come in and do renovations? So let me hear again why you're talking about me and why I shouldn't make you pay. Say it again. Say you again. These men are pretending they can fix things. No, it's not. Stupid. You, in reality, are going to show me which man it is and what their job is. Do you understand? You went on about a P trap for what reason? This is exactly why we're here. You're going to find every single one of them. Oh, they're going to explain what the P trap is under the sink. They're going to show you why. Every single tenant in this building, every day. They're going to explain it. Sit here every day and explain it now. Yeah, it makes a difference now. You know who I am. You can see me. Why does it make a difference now? Don't trust wine. Any man who's worth its weight, what does it say? Can install a P trap. It's extremely easy. A high school boy could do it. Okay, you explain it now then. Go, what's P trap? Well, maybe you can help the building why they attacked me for having it in the bathroom. Go, tell them. It's a U-shaped pipe, they said. It's the P-shaped pipe under the sink. So I'm trying to figure out why I got all those comments when that was the sink in my apartment. Explain that one now. Because yours had a leak and it caused excessive damage to the apartment below. Whose P-trap had a leak? You saw I posted a video of under the sink of my apartment, and you started leaving nasty comments for months and months and months and months. No, you're not getting away. Oh, I have them all months, months, and months worth, right? You think back real good, Malton, when you wake up tomorrow and watch this. Every single one about a P trap for no reason at all. Yes, you are. Why would I block people? I didn't do anything. You people are going to go through why you're leaving comments until you figure out why. One by one. Yeah, we went over. These are employees who work with water and gas and electricity. And you did that to me. Why? This is an apartment I moved into. Do you remember that? What would have happened if I took it out on the building? Yes, you are. You're going to explain it. We're going to go back to the repairmen in Malton. All of their licenses. You did that to me because what? Go, let me hear. What did you think would happen? Where did you think you were going to go? They're joking till you find them in real life at their house, right? What should we match? The names on the live stream or the phone numbers? Your usernames? You just keep calling my name everywhere you go. Call my name again, and when I actually see you, oh yeah, wait till the next time I'm sitting on the rock. You can all complain good when you drive by. Just all of us drinking coffee, waiting for Amy's autograph. Yeah, you're probably in the Tim Hortons, right? Why didn't you give yourself your own autograph? No, I want to hear the real men. They don't understand that? Why are you laughing? What do you think all of you are doing with the bridge? What do you think you are? What do you think every time they see an orange coat and an orange vest? You think that's a joke? No, all of the repairmen and their jobs in Malton. Let's go. Which one do you want to start with? Water? Plumbing? All the plumbers? Let me hear then. Where are the legitimate plumbers? You can go to electricians. What do they need? A certificate? Gas now. What do they need to work with gas? No, renovations. Drywall. What do you need to go pretend you do renovations and install drywall? Do you win over, right? I can't install a vanity. You don't know nothing about me. I bought a vanity from Walmart and installed it in the basement where I used to live. And you sat here, a bunch of what in Malton? Doing what to me? Why shouldn't I make you pay for that? You're actually professional men who do renovations. I want to hear why I should make you pay for it. A new topic? Okay. The men that get paid. The working men that get paid to do renovations and go into people's houses, like women who live in their own apartment. In Malton, where they get their permits and certificates, why they don't have ID, why we shouldn't do that, why they shouldn't have ID from their company with their name and picture when they go into people's apartments, like single women. There's a new topic. Can we go over that one? If they work for a company, they need ID, photo ID, to come into your house. Is that a good start? Crispy1312. This is boring. You need some new topics. Well, maybe Crispy there. Are you a female? Are you the same one who keeps texting me? Maybe you should stop dyeing your hair. Maybe you should learn a trade. Are you the one who had children? I'm sure they'd enjoy it if you learned how to do plumbing. You wouldn't be so bored, right? Remember that one, Idle Hands, or The Devil's Plaything? Maybe you're too bored. You have nothing to do with your days. You what? Well, I guess let's go over the lock. Remember when I had to get the front door lock changed? They wouldn't let me change it myself, buy a new lock and change it myself. I had to buy one from the building. That was half of my problem. I can't afford the price of the new lock. Did I mention I can change the lock? Now they're going to need to gather. They don't believe me. Why don't I go over how I bought a door and I cut the hole for the doorknob myself, install the door lock, put it on the basement door, on the basement in the house? You want me to go over that again? When you're sitting here, you don't believe I can install a vanity? Do you understand trash? Months and months of these men commenting. Why shouldn't I take their job? You want me to sit here and talk to them? Let's go over the fuse box again, since you were so interested. How do you know which fuse is which room in your house? Oh, how many years? 6 minimum. Let me hear them. All the repairmen, I told you. Who are you talking to then? What happens when your heat goes off? You call a repairman? Oh, I want to hear how you get hot water. You have a hot water heater? How does it work? Oh, all the experts, please comment more. No, tell me more about how much you make an hour so I can get that job. It does, doesn't it? They're arguing with me over water. They don't even know where the hot and cold valves are. Oh, I'm enjoying this. Yeah, usually they're labeled. Yep, they are labeled, or you can just try it. Do you understand that? Why are you leaving comments like that if you don't know what you're talking about? Why did you leave months and months of comments and abuse? Okay, let's go over renovations. If you get renovations in your house, do you get an inspector to come in before and after? Is that required? Somebody to inspect your renovations? Right here in Peel region. Who's responsible? City of Mississauga? Well, didn't they renovate and do 3 new units in this building to help the homeless problem? So let's hear. How do you hire the employees? Do they have permits? It's probably required, but I just do what I want. I don't let the government control my life. Well, see, when you build houses, new renovations, just like a home inspector, there's a reason for a home inspector, right? So if the government is bothering you, you probably shouldn't have a legal business. Since all of those usually come from like some form of government, you know, the rules for building houses legally so they don't fall down. What do you think they have permits for? If you're building an addition to your house, why do you think you need a permit for that? Yeah, the government has a home inspector to take money from hardworking people like me. Wow. Real good, right? When you buy a house, you're supposed to get a home inspection. Maybe that's why some of you lost your houses and everything you have. A couple hundred for a home inspector, right? Could have saved you purchasing a house that was faulty. But you just explained it, right? You can't be bothered to do anything and make sure. So it seems to be a trend and pattern. No, I'm not a contractor. I don't build houses. I don't do renovations, right? That's not my profession. You mentioned the government. How do you do taxes? If you do renovations, how do you do taxes? Just your material, your labor? How do you calculate it? Do you have receipts for all of that? Well, let's pretend just the units you did in this building. What was it, 3 of them? Okay, so how did you guys do that since you know who that was? Well, go ahead. Was it one guy, an electrician, a plumber? Which guy did you have? If you don't pay your taxes and they eventually start deducting it from your paycheck, what are you going to do? If you don't pay your taxes and they make you take it back and they make you pay it back, they just start taking your salary. You going to complain? You don't pay your taxes. How do you think you're going to get pension when you get older? They're just going to give you free money? What do you think pension is? Canada Pension Plan, if you're in Canada. Where do you think that money comes from? It comes from when you work and you contribute. Do you know CPP? Oh, I'll be all clear. On your paycheck, they take out income tax. They take out EI and CPP, right? They take out taxes. Are you? Why? CPP is Canada Pension Plan that they take out. EI is employment insurance they take out from your paycheck. So when they take out that CPP pension, they put in a savings account for you. Then when you get old and retire, they give it back to you to live off of. That's your Canada pension. You want to go over EI, employment insurance? Why they take that out? And what happens if you lose your job? How you get it back? Tons of comments how they don't pay taxes. Do you want to go over Ontario Works? Where do you think that comes from? That money. It's called Ontario Works. What do you think it's for? It's a basic income when you have no money, right? You don't work, you have nothing. It's a basic income they give you until what? While you're looking for a job, until you find a job. It's not meant to be a permanent source to live off of. Ontario Works. It's to help you until you get a job. That's the point of it. More like Ontario doesn't work. Well, it's nice. Don't Trust Wine has every kind of comment. So let's go back to Don't Trust Wine and what you do for work, since you like talking about everybody else's work and what they do. Now you're going to have to remind me what you do. Oh, the volunteer firefighter. Okay, I remember. Thank you. It says I'm in Nova Scotia right now helping with the wildfires. A volunteer firefighter. That's who we're talking to. That's who I'm talking to. If you guys have questions now, go for it. Who are those people? How many months? Almost probably over a year. Do you remember all the snow and the snowplow, all that I went through? It's the same person you're talking to. It's me. You did it all too. That's funny. When I sold Epicure, they did the fundraiser to help with the fires. Was it BC that year? You want to sit here and pretend what? Why didn't I go over which one? Why did I stop selling Epic here? I was in the same Malton. Why did I stop selling Epic here? Where would I have sold it? Do you remember that's the permit I got, right? For the same Malton Community Center? That's how we wanted to rent the classrooms? You forgot all that? I'm the one who had the permit? Why didn't you check my name again? So where was I going to sell it? In Malton, that Epic here. Oh, at the Westwood Mall? Where in the Westwood Mall would I have sold it? You forgot that's why I volunteered at the food bank? That's what I was doing. I was an Epic consultant when I volunteered at the food bank there, down the street in Malton. Yeah, that was before they got the community kitchen. Do you remember when they opened the community kitchen? The teaching kitchen? That was before that. It was a good idea, though, right? Opening a kitchen to teach people how to cook. Did you ever remember me saying what happens with misinformation? Don't you constantly taunt and ridicule people who use the food bank for being poor and homeless? This is the same firefighter, volunteer firefighter, writing this. Don't you constantly taunt and ridicule people who use the food bank for being poor and homeless? That was an innocent question. You're a volunteer firefighter. How many times is this now? That was an innocent question? Don't you constantly taunt and ridicule people who use the food bank for being poor and homeless? Where was the question in that? What was the question? I'm pretty sure you have done that many times. Wow, you're pretty sure? Would you bet your volunteer career on it? You're pretty sure I've done that. When I held a fundraiser for the Mississauga Food Bank, where were you? When I held a fundraiser for the kids' school breakfast program, where were you? You're pretty sure? What if I ask which fire you worked for? Brampton, Mississauga? Which one? A volunteer. This is a volunteer firefighter, right? Don't you constantly taunt and ridicule people? Why don't you explain to me what taunting and ridiculing people are who use the food bank for being poor and homeless? No, I want you to explain that since you're a volunteer firefighter. Is that a public service worker? pretty sure you have done that many times. That's what it says. So let me hear you explain this. The point of the live stream? For 6 years in Malton, you've been teaching diversity, equity, and inclusion. Endless people are texting me about what? Brown and Trini what? Your Malton mom's there. How many times? Black lives in Caribbean. Where? Where on what earth? Then today you're texting me about your friends on the Muslim Council? I told you how many times? I'm one person. If Malton did whatever it did and terrorized people and fought people and caused all kinds of problems, that has nothing to do with me. You involved me and dragged me into your competition and drama and stole my business, lied and hid things like I wasn't sitting here looking at it. That's not my problem. Malton Neighborhood Services, where do you think that is? Where do you think Malton BIA is? Where do you think the city of Mississauga is? You were all sitting in the community center, right? When I went up to the desk and got the card. So who do you think you rent the community center from and all the rooms from? Who do you think you rent Victory Hall from? Who do you think you're the Malton Youth Hub? That's all city of Mississauga. You want to pretend what? Yeah, they're laughing. I'm waiting. How many times? You wasted 6 years of my life. What did Malton do in the same 6 years? You're actually sitting here doing what? Wasting 2 years of my life doing what? How did Malton get any better? You had endless money doing what? No one's joking. I was homeless in a homeless shelter for 6 years. What did you do? Malton got better because they added a kitchen to the food bank. Where'd you get the money for the kitchen? Who donated it? Well, let's talk about when they opened. I want you to go check the date after when they opened that same food bank and tell me where they got all the food from. Tell me, explain to me how a food bank gets food. Now there is black excellence. So like I said, right? You tell me. Explain it to me. What Malton is right now. They probably get food provided from donations such as Loblaws or Second Harvest. Second Harvest is a food bank itself, right? So one food bank donating to another food bank. That was like COVID. We did all that. Years and years of it. When it was COVID, nobody had money. That's why the government started donating, right? Adding money because nobody had money to donate to the food bank. Where did you think they got all the food and money from if you guys didn't have any? Well, do you remember how many years Loblaws, all those shops, all those stores were closing? When food prices went up, you wanted to strike. You wanted money, 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 more money. You wanted your job, you wanted your paycheck raised. Apparently, I got to go year by year. This is the same firefighter, right? COVID was great. All of my friends didn't have to go to work, and we could just drink together at the Bramley City Center in large groups. We would share cigarettes and joints. Well, now we know where the whole of. Do you remember when they called Peel the hotbed of disease? Well, now you guys are learning why. You are it. You didn't listen, you couldn't be bothered. Do you remember when they had doses after dark? That was where? The International Center? I was in cause for shelter then. They had to bribe you to go get your vaccines. Why don't you remember that? Doses after dark. Did you go then and get your vaccine? None of you wanted it, none of you could get there. You had every excuse. They want to know why they lost the jobs and houses, but they don't want to hear when I'm telling them. All of you are sitting here. You didn't bother. You hung out. It spread because you didn't wear a mask over your face. They told you not to go within how many? Do you remember that? The arm span? How close were you supposed to be to people? And all you keep telling me, all of you, is that you didn't do it. You just let COVID go on. You want to complain you lost your job and house again? We would hang out by the LCBO and beer store, just chugging beers and dancing and laughing. We really had a sense of community. So how many people did you infect? I wore the mask on my neck and chin. Why don't you explain how you did anything wearing it on your neck and chin if you're the volunteer firefighter? So let's go over. Why do you think you had to wear the mask over your mouth? All you had to do, right, to go out was wear the mask. Explain this to me now. How you think that worked? How long was COVID supposed to be? Nobody knew? It was the threat of your life. Nobody knew. But yet you were okay to go hang out and party up a storm? And you're actually sitting here telling people now that you did that? Well, why are you whining about the food bank if it closes? Don't you think you're the ones who should be getting your jobs and getting your life together? Didn't you have enough party time during COVID? It sounds like you never came out of it, party mode. It is 11:03 p.m. right now in Canada, in Ontario. What was your tattoo of? Your new tattoo? You know what you should all do? As soon as you get your next girlfriend or boyfriend, get their name tattooed as big as you can on you. Let's test your sense. Anyway, I'm going to end the live stream here. See you next time. Enjoy your night.